This video is sponsored by HelloFresh. More on them very soon.
Hello there, citizens of the Reject Nation. You knew this part of the intro was coming. Guy, how are you feeling today?
Since you did the Batman voice, I was like, we're only 2 movies away until Greg does his Bane. And I didn't expect the Joker for some reason, but Bane was inevitable. Darkness is his ally.
I am inevitable.
Dark Knight Rises.
Yes!
Dark Knight Rises. Boy, I probably last saw this around the last time I saw Batman Begins. I think it must have been about a decade ago.
Wow.
Another one I've never watched on Blu-ray before.
Okay.
But I saw it 5 times in the theaters. I didn't like it the first time I watched it.
You wore into it? Like, second time, you're like, I'm going to like this movie.
Then I ended up watching it 4 or 5 times in the theaters. So, yeah, I'm excited to rewatch this because this is the most debated one.
Sure. This is the one I've seen the least. I think Batman Begins had been a little longer since I'd seen it, but I think I saw this about 4 or 5 years ago. That said, I think of it as being my least favorite, but it's the one I think of randomly as much as Dark Knight. Like, Dark Knight I think of more, but I think of this one more randomly than Batman Begins.
Yes. And I have never watched this movie or this entire trilogy in the lens of watching it as a trilogy.
Yes, same.
You know, I've only watched them as individual movies. So I'm excited to see if this is elevated by the experience of watching the prior 2 so close to this one.
Yeah, I'm really curious if there's like callback lines like we noticed in Dark Knight that tie into Begins and vice versa, and how the conclusion feels, because even watching Dark Knight, the realization that he's just trying to get Gotham to a place where he doesn't have to be Batman makes me retroactively like the ending more.
Exactly, because I've always viewed like 3 is really trying to tie into 1 to complete it, but I never really thought how much Dark Knight was so thematically in tune with the entirety of what all 3 movies represent.
Yeah.
So I feel like this will probably be more appreciated. And maybe we'll look past some logical gaps. All right, guys, what do you think about The Dark Knight Rises? Do you think it's underrated? Do you wish Christian Bale carried on as Batman? Do you find Bane to be underrated in this? I actually feel like he's probably an overlooked villain. He's like so famous, but they never put him on the caliber
Villain lists
of like Heath Ledger and stuff.
I mean,
he does transform.
Everest. Like, it's just, there's Heath
hard.
and then there's other people.
It's hard to touch Everest.
Yeah.
You know, it's not hard to touch the keyboard that takes you to patreon.com/realrejects, where you get the
full-length reaction watch along.
You sync up with your own copy. We have got the 4K IMAX rendition ready to go.
Prepped ahead of time.
Expanded ratio. We are IMAX lovers. And we also cover several things over at Patreon. Highlights and watch-alongs included. We call you royal. And if you go to rejectnationshop.com, we call you righteous. Any tea you wish to purchase is a fantastic way to support the Chanel, the cast and crew here at Real Rejects, and Royals get 15% off at rejectnationshop.com.
Are you ready to begin, Coy?
Yes.
No, it's like this. I have to use my hands. I can only use the Dark Knight Rises, brother. This is going to be the most annoying reaction we've ever done.
Remember Penguin? How Penguin evolved week to week? They have a 3-hour epic for our debauchery. Good luck, Reject Nation. You'll be molded by insolence soon enough.
Oh, man, I'm so excited. Let's do it. Let's do it. I didn't realize he carried on the blue. And
I don't think I ever, like, it's a trilogy thing. I never
coordinated it because the Batman Begins is not blue.
It's like an orangey yellow, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I'm going to feel more like this is Dark Knight Rises than it is like it elevates Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Because I was always bothered they didn't call it the Caped Crusader or another of the titles of Batman.
But it's icy blue.
Oh, because the snow.
Because the dinosaurs.
It's because Arnold comes back.
The
My
Ice
favorite
Age.
scene. Bane loves Iceman. I think the title Dark Knight Rises was a kind of a letdown because I thought it was going to be Batman, Dark Knight, Caped Crusader, or some other title. So maybe this feels more like a continuing of, especially with the Rachel Dawes and Anne Hathaway Catwoman.
Mr. Freeze.
Canon.
I knew Harvey Dent.
I believed in Harvey Dent.
His friend.
Oh, it's gorgeous. The bat.
And it will be a very long time before someone inspires us the way he did. I believed in Harvey Dent.
I do love this score.
Yeah.
I did see this before Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, and I was like, what the hell is Bane saying?
Dr. Pavel, I'm CIA. He wasn't alone.
Little finger.
You don't get to bring friends.
I think he's canonically Deadshot for Nolan's universe. He's someone.
Oh, cool.
They were trying to grab your prize. They worked for the mercenary. The masked man. Bane.
You worked on this movie, didn't you, Coy?
I did.
Yeah. All right.
I was going to point me out later.
Oh, you can see you?
Yep.
Oh,
I mean,
my God.
I'm like a henchman. I'm a mercenary. I'm one of the red scarved mercenaries.
All
but
right, cool.
you can see me.
All right, I'm excited.
I don't have like a title.
My man, Dr. Pavel here, but only one of you.
What? You.
Get to stay on my aircraft.
What is this like?
It's an odd everything. Certainly a choice.
Who paid you to grab Dr. Pavel? He didn't fly so good. Who wants to try next?
I actually feel like it's probably been longer since I've seen this one.
It's 13 years old now.
A lot of loyalty for a hired gun.
Or perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane.
Very clear.
It's very clear here. His voice takes over the entire aircraft.
It's awesome.
Who are you?
It doesn't matter who we are.
I love it.
What matters is our plan.
I love this audio choice. Everything is so unclear until Bane speaks.
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
Like the Batman.
If I pull that off, will you die?
It would be extremely painful
You're a big guy.
for you.
They got the whole getting caught thing out of the way.
Dr. Pavel refused our offer in favor of yours. We got to find out what he told you.
Nothing.
We had to find out what he told you. Big plane, little plane. Tom Cruise can make that jump.
The fact that they shot this practical is so crazy. On IMAX.
Now what's the next step of your master plan?
Crashing this plane.
Never understood that line till now.
Really?
I never heard him say crashing this plane.
This audio mix is great for Greg's experience.
Yeah, these are amazing stunts. I love how these evolve more into Nolan movies and less Batman movies.
This is Tenet setup. Like, this looks
yeah.
like Tenet.
This looks just like a Christopher Nolan movie now.
He gets more freedom every time, and he's like, and money.
It is crazy, like, going back. I never really caught on to the spy thriller elements in all three of these movies because I've gotten to know Nolan's filmography so much more. I now see it. So, like, it's clear.
Retroactively, we get the canvas
Yeah.
that is Nolan versus Batman.
Yeah, I've never caught it until this rewatch.
I love how he flexes his lats each drop so you see like the width of Bane. The physicality Tom Hardy does to look as big as he can is incredible.
Wow, this is such a difficult sequence to orchestrate.
Beautiful. The mid-air blood transfusion is crazy.
Look how he found that vein so
Oh.
smooth.
He's Bane.
No! They expect one of us in the wreckage, brother.
We started the fire.
Yes, the fire rises.
He's so cool.
He really is effortlessly cool.
I do think it's like he's so memed and impersonated, but I don't think we talk enough about how good of a performance this is.
He's mean because it's iconic.
Yeah.
Later.
That comes later.
All of his lines are incredible. Oh, look at that shot.
Is that a real shot?
Yeah, they filmed this practically. They dropped a plane.
With Tom Hardy hanging?
Yeah.
That was actually Tom
They
Hardy?
shot this. There's behind the scenes on it. It's like 20 minutes. It's insane.
Never seen any of the behind the
Oh,
scenes.
dude. That whole sequence is a movie. Yeah, they shot that.
You can see the Wayne Tower, or it's the W.
That's down the street.
Harvey Dent's uncompromising stand against organized crime had made Gotham a safer place than it was at the time of his death 8 years ago. This city has seen a historic turnaround.
I am immediately noticing that the switch from IMAX to regular film is a little bit more jarring this time. Like the quality of the filmmaking is very, like the whatever lens they use is
It's a lot
very
darker and a little muddier.
Yeah.
Not on my watch.
I think it's like pure digital when it's not IMAX now.
Foundation for hosting this event.
I forgot Ben
And
Mendelsohn was in
is
this.
in this movie.
Oh, immediate excitement.
I heard Glenn Powell's in this at one
Yeah,
point.
he's a Wall Street guy.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't know what that is. But I heard he's in it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Wait a minute.
People
Is that Stranger?
Modine.
That is Matthew Modine.
He's like lead.
Is he? I don't remember.
Who's that actor that looks like Matthew Modine?
Sweetheart, not so fast.
Thomas Wayne.
Jim Gordon.
Thank you.
Tell you the truth.
Isn't it Thomas
In
Wayne?
The Joker?
Yeah.
I think it is, which is really funny. They do
Weird.
that. Multiversal confusion.
I have written a speech telling the truth about Harvey Dent. Maybe the time isn't right.
That's elusive. I need to lie to you guys.
1,000 inmates in Blackgate Prison is a direct result of the Dent Act. These are violent criminals, essential cogs in the organized crime machine. For now, all I should say about the death of Harvey Dent is this.
They're carrying on the exact theme of the ending monologue that Gordon was giving in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
About maybe what people need more than truth.
Why are your people using the main staircase? And where's Mrs. Bolton?
She's up at bar, so can I help?
The east drawing room. Unlock the door, put the tray on the table, lock the door again.
I remember at this time Anne Hathaway was one of the most clowned on actresses.
She's so good, and she got so popular fast. People were like, "Oh, I hate her."
Yeah,
she's great.
I've always liked her a lot.
Wayne's holed up in there with 8-inch nails, peeing into mason jars. It's very good of you to let me on the ground.
He's always good at playing rich, smarmy assholes.
His voice is so buttery and cutting.
Like in Ready Player One.
Or Andor, perhaps.
No, Ready Player One. That's the pinnacle
or
of Ben
Mississippi
Mendelsohn.
Grind.
But you understand only money and the power you think it buys. So why waste my time? Indeed.
Second shift reports in.
And my father sounds like this, though.
We don't know why.
We don't know why, but we have two entirely different accents. My daughter and I.
Irish and French, very similar.
Must be popular with his wife.
Not really. She took the kids and left for Cleveland.
I have plenty of time for visits. The mayor's going to dump him in the spring.
Oh, man, he got divorced.
But he's a hero.
A war hero. This is peacetime.
Even though the Dent Act was implemented, I feel like there would be still a rise in crime due to the absence of Batman.
You know, it's a lot of people in prison, and like that's a scary precedent. I love the pearls in this.
Sorry. Although you don't have the long nails or the facial scars, or...
He still keeps his hair intact.
It is magic hair.
Is that what they say about me?
No one ever sees you.
Her playing sheepish is so effective.
Reminds me of one that belonged to my mother. It can't be the same one, because her pearls are in this safe. The manufacturer clearly explained is uncrackable.
His body transformations are crazy, and her physical transformation there is crazy. Like,
nobody told me it was
and the shadow.
Oh,
Highlighted both. She's shadow on her left, he's shadowed on his right.
Look, you wouldn't beat up a woman any more than I would beat up a cripple. Sometimes exceptions have to be made.
what a Catwoman.
Good night, Mr. Wayne.
Oh, damn, Anne Hathaway learned the flip.
That was actually her. Such a Catwoman outfit change.
She took the pearls, tracking device and all.
She?
One of the maids. Perhaps you should stop letting them in this side of the house.
Perhaps you should start learning to make your own bed. Why were you dusting for prints?
I wasn't. She was.
Look how old he seems.
Yeah, the physical transformation is incredible because it's only 3 years after, I think.
He's fucking Nosferatu now.
When you and Dad cleaned up the streets, you cleaned them good. Pretty soon we'll be chasing down overdue library books. And yet, here you are, like we're still at war.
What's your name, son?
Blake, sir.
You have something you want to ask me, Officer Blake?
This is the one he takes the most creative liberties with.
The idea of a clean Gotham is such a fascinating, like, Elseworld that kind of feels like this becomes, and, like, the reason for him.
Yeah.
I like Rises with that context of him coming back, but it is interesting to rewatch.
I know exactly who he was.
I love Gordon as, like, a broken wartime general that doesn't have a war, but, like, is attached to it.
Well, he takes this character who he makes Robin eventually, Blake. He changes the Bane story. They got this Dent Act where Dent is dead. There's a lot more like Nolan liberties this time around.
I mean, Joker is completely a different Joker, but
it
that's
still
one
feels
facet.
like an adaptation of actual Jokers, you know?
Yeah.
And it still feels very true to the character where he takes some deviations.
I think he's continuing his themes in his own way. It's more like he's using the characters in his story than him doing a story of the characters.
You haven't been down here in a long time.
Find out more about our jewel thief. Ran her prints, unless she's...
Do we go to the Batcave at all in The Dark Knight? I don't think we do.
I don't think we did at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
I cross-referenced the address she went back to with police data. Selina Kyle.
That's like a comic cover. It's so perfect.
She weighs 125 pounds. Let the record show.
Jacked.
Before she fences the pearls.
She won't. She likes them too much. And they weren't what she was after.
They really made sure to light his mole.
There's nothing out there for me.
And that's the problem. You hung up your cape and your cowl, but you didn't move on. You never went to find a life, to find someone.
Alfred.
I love that Alfred's just expressing the arc of the trilogy for Bruce, but also for us.
Do you feel this goes in tune with the Bruce Wayne characterization that we've had for him
It's
to give
a leap.
to him to give up Batman because he lost Rachel?
I think Gotham getting clean and Rachel, but like we miss the whole. It is tricky to just dive in with this point.
Look across the tables, and I'd see you there with a wife, maybe a couple of kids. You wouldn't say anything to me, nor me to you.
They flew back to Paris on 2 separate days to shoot that. The fantasy and the end. They didn't just shoot it in the same hour.
Private jet, lots of gas.
What? Name's Jimmy. He's from St. Swithin's. It's the boys home right to Coast Symbol.
Gordon-Levitt brings that New York vibe.
Yeah, very authentically. I mean, he's an LA kid, but he has the energy.
We don't have the resources to keep boys on after 16.
Yeah, but I thought the Wayne Foundation gave money for them.
Not for the past couple of years.
He has a brother here, doesn't he?
Mark, I'll tell him.
I'd like to.
I love this whole subplot a lot. I really like the foster home because that's such a Wayne thing, and having Robin introduced this way, I think works. Even though it's a big change from Robin, this is still that character.
So you know about him?
Of course. Do you think he's coming back?
I don't know.
Well, for a bookend movie, one thing we were really highlighting was in Batman Begins that it actually captures the hope of having a Batman.
Yeah.
And this is starting off by going to the youth, hoping for Batman again. So I can see, like, definitely thematically how this is a good bookend for completing the trilogy, tying it around. Because Dark Knight does not have that.
Doesn't need it?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're planning to do with Mr. Wayne's prints, but I'm guessing you'll need his thumb. You don't count so good, huh?
I count fine. In fact, I am counting to 10.
There's such a consistency with lighting her left side of the face, shadowing that specific part.
Duality.
And I don't know why, though.
Oh, I forgot there was like a Harley Quinn-esque.
It'll liven up in a minute.
I thought she was like the roommate inspired from Batman Year One.
Oh, I could see that too. As a kid, I saw her as Harley Quinn, but that's more, I think, accurate from my memory of her.
We can't have loose ends. And even in that dress, no one's gonna miss you.
But my friend over there, every cop in the city's missing him.
They're not gonna be looking in a place like this.
I don't know. You did just use his cell phone.
Such a great manipulation. I love how much it's Anne Hathaway fighting and moving. Like, they let us see her face because it's her.
I wonder how much weight she had to lose to get into that dress.
What a forward young man you are.
She's so good at turning it on
switching
and
the
off.
characters, yeah. I would never trust Anne Hathaway in real life.
That's the Deadshot element I was talking about.
Isn't Dead? No, this is DC. Forgot.
It is DC.
Yeah, I forgot for a second. Yeah.
You know this Batman guy? Pretty big DC character.
What, they went down there?
Ah, that's cool. I never quite picked up on, like, there's more weight to Blake having that question because he was there for the sewer incident earlier and he was questioning the kids about the sewer. So his involvement in this investigation of what's going on in the sewers is heightened.
He's already he's invested and cares.
So it makes sense to really focus on his reactions right now.
We're gonna go down there, right?
There's a gas explosion, kid.
The gas is a sewer.
No one goes in there till we know what's down there.
We know it's down there, sir. The police commissioner.
Someone get this hothead out of here.
We need the Department of Water and Power.
They will tell us if Commissioner Gordon's okay. Some guy in coveralls will let us know.
Yeah, I'm catching on way more to the Batman Begins tie-ins. That one had a big emphasis, too, on what goes on in the undergrounds.
And rotting Gotham from within is their whole mission.
Why are you here?
It is a very powerful choice they use on the Bane voice that I never picked up on. That they have it, like, just envelop everything.
His presence is so powerful and larger than life.
We didn't know what to do.
We just
You
thought
panicked, and your weakness has cost the lives of 3 others.
he's alone.
Kills guys, tears it. Oh, it's so great.
I love the body type choice he chose for this.
Hulking.
With villains, you just still expect like a dude with a six-pack and shit.
He's dead.
So show me his body.
The water runs to any one of the outflows. We'll never find him.
Follow him.
Follow him.
He's so casual with the way he kills people. I love how Gordon just walks around carrying that letter with him everywhere he goes. Because this is definitely
It's the same day.
At least the next day after that funeral.
Forgot it in his pocket. It's only incriminating information.
Yeah.
What can I do for you, officer?
Commissioner Gordon's been shot.
We all wear masks.
It's his favorite room.
A masked man called Bane.
Shouldn't you be telling your superior officers about this?
They asked me if he saw any giant alligators.
Killer Croc.
And he's the Batman.
Just.
He doesn't know or care who you are. We've met before. It was a long time ago. I was a kid. St. Swithin's used to be funded by the Wayne Foundation. It's an orphanage. My mom died when I was small. It was a car accident. I don't really remember it.
Damn, he is a Robin though.
He really does. He looks like Nightwing.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know what it feels like, do they? Be angry in your bones. I mean, they understand. Foster parents, everybody understands.
This one is the world with the most romanticism of Nolan, and it's more about emotion than anything else.
It's a drama with action scenes.
Like you're supposed to kind of just ignore a lot of weird choices by just the emotion.
Yeah.
You gotta learn to hide the anger and practice smiling in a mirror. It's like putting on a mask.
It's the calmest. It's the most pondersome.
Bruce Wayne, billionaire orphan. We used to make up stories about you, man. And you know, the other kids, that's all it was, just stories. But right when I saw you, I knew who you really were. I'd seen that look on your face before.
This is a really good monologue, though.
I don't know why you took the fall for Dent's murder, but I'm still a believer in the Batman, even if you're not.
I am surprised that he's the only one who pieced this together, though.
Did you say that your boys' home used to be funded by the Wayne Foundation?
Because the money stopped. Might be time to get some fresh air. Start paying attention to the details. Some of those details might need your help.
I love that that's the only thing he asks about. Doesn't contest, doesn't anything.
Wayne Foundation stopped funding boys' homes in the city.
Funded by the profits of Wayne Enterprises.
I'm gonna talk to Mr. Fox.
I'll get him on the phone.
No. Do we still have any cars around the place?
His expression. It is interesting because the first 20 minutes are so pondersome and it ramps up and you're like, hey, Batman's coming back. Like,
and the scar tissue on your kidneys, the residual concussive damage to your brain tissue, and the general scarred over quality of your body. I cannot recommend that you go hella skiing.
He was only Batman for like a year, wasn't he?
Yeah, rough year.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of damage could happen to someone in a year.
Easily. And he did not take care of himself. He just put us all the training before he was Batman. Like, he had to learn how to be a ninja.
And a lot of this movie, again, it's about the emotion, the mind over the body.
So you were gone.
The Batman wasn't needed anymore. We won.
I started a lie.
No. It's the Batman wasn't needed anymore. We won. Otherwise, he won't recognize you, Bruce.
Bruce Wayne in a mask?
There are certain choices. I wish we got the first time he actually sees Gordon after all this time.
Yeah.
But with the Nolan editing and the lapsing of time.
I don't know what he's so upset about. There's only $60 in here. Probably the watch.
Wayne needs some profit. I need to get that necklace back. Need to take it to a
Gotta
pawn
sell
shop.
my mom's necklace.
Damn.
Who's that? Another stiff can barely climb out of his sports car. Well, that's Bruce Wayne. Mr. Wayne, Mr. Wayne.
I totally don't remember that at all.
Oh, it's so good.
That's so funny. He just looks so annoyed.
The most fun bat gadget, anti-paparazzi.
Proceeds go to the big fat spread. It's not about charity. It's about feeding the ego of whichever society hag laid this on.
Actually, this is my party, Mr. Wayne.
That's embarrassing.
Will go where they should because I paid for the big fat spread myself.
It's very generous of you.
You have to invest if you want to restore balance to the world. Take our clean energy project.
I like her performance a lot more, and actually knowing she's Talia al Ghul.
I think it does enhance it, but there's no way to do it until the second viewing to have us appreciate what she's doing.
and isn't so wounded when it fails that he goes into hiding. Have a good evening, Mr. Wayne.
And like her father, she's also aiming to pull Bruce Wayne out of the shadows and bring him into.
Yeah, she's playing a very long game in a different way while Gotham is rotting.
Who's your date? His wife's in Ibiza. She left her diamonds behind, though. Worried they might get stolen.
It's pronounced Ibiza.
I like that this mirrors the Batman Catwoman scene with Keaton and Pfeiffer, the dancing, the talking, the uncovering.
Yeah.
This is like mirroring that scene for you
yeah.
directly. I never put that together because I've never watched them like this.
You don't get to judge me just because you were born in the master bedroom of Wayne.
Actually, I was born in the Regency, bro.
Once you've done what you had to, they'll never let you do what you want to.
Start fresh.
It's a good thing she's a woman. Otherwise, he'd be beating him to a pulp, you know?
Why don't you stop doing crime?
Maybe you're being unrealistic about what's really in your pants other than your wallet.
Ouch.
You think all this can last?
They got the rhythm.
And the dialogue is so great. That was in the trailer.
You're all gonna wonder how you ever thought you could live so large.
Going after the billionaires.
I mean, it's been 13 years, but I feel like this is a conversation in so many movies today because it's accelerated. Like, the wealth inequality in this country is like what they're talking about here.
Which, again, is something Batman Begins raises the question of.
Kiss early in the game.
Like, The Dark Knight had the surveillance conversation.
Yeah.
And this is having the
wealth inequality billionaire problem.
Must have lost my ticket. Your wife said you were taking a cab home. My wife?
I forgot that. Oh, that's great. And that's the same shot from Dark Knight of him in the car.
Just you, sir? Don't worry, Master Wayne. Takes a little time to get back in the swing of things.
Oh, man.
As I live and breathe.
It is kind of cool, the reuniting vibe as the film ramps up because it has been 8 years for everyone.
Brings you out of cryo sleep, Mr. Wayne. So you haven't lost your sense of humor, even if you have lost most of my money. Actually, you did that.
He keeps coming in with like a thing to say, like
And then
a
everyone
jab,
keeps being
and
like,
everyone's like, actually,
"No,
dude.
you're the problem."
Your majority keeps Daggett at bay while we figure out a future for the energy program with Miranda Tate. She has supported the project all the way.
Did Miranda Tate like create a whole fake background profile to get in?
Like, that's what Ra's al Ghul was doing, like build, and she's just doing the corporate espionage route.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, I think she's built an empire paper-wise.
Well, let me show you some stuff anyway.
Yes.
He's been waiting for this meeting. And I do like that this one actually brings it back to keeping it very Bruce Wayne character arc focus right off the bat.
Mhm.
Whereas Dark Knight, that comes in kind of late.
I mean, it's all about his arc, the whole movie. Crunchy.
Is it really painful?
You're very welcome to try it, Alfred.
It's cool to see the physical transformation of Christian Bale as he comes back to life because he looks so much healthier than 10 minutes ago, and he probably did this because he's crazy. Plus makeup and clothing and stuff.
A pit where men are thrown to suffer and die.
In the comics, a prison.
A man rises from the darkness.
On that exact line, the Batsuit rises from the dark.
The Dark Knight rises.
The city needs Bruce Wayne. Your resources, your knowledge. It doesn't need your body.
The age-old question of using your money into the city versus Batman. I never realized how linear that was in this movie. And years later in the comics, Nightwing actually gets money from Alfred dying. Alfred's killed by Bane and puts his billions into Bloodhaven, and you get to see that corporate and corruption through money cause some of the same problems, but differently. So they kind of make a sequel to this with Nightwing.
Movie's a little bit ahead of its time.
Real talk, Reject Nation. As many of you know, this year I started off at over 218 pounds, over 22% body fat, and by the beginning of September, I got down to under 10%. Lately, I've been focused on bulkiness. And when I learned along this journey, even though I started off for aesthetic reasons, I got very concerned about my health. So that's been my bigger focus, mental and physical health. Because between anxiety, panic attacks, sleep issues, and a very imbalanced schedule, I need meals that keep me steady without stealing hours. That's why I recommend HelloFresh. And HelloFresh just made dinner even easier and better. They've doubled the menu. Now 100 options each week with bigger portions plus an even healthier lineup. packed with high protein and veggie-forward recipes. It's tastier too, and for you non-vegetarians, you can get steak and seafood recipes, and rotating seasonal produce like snack peas, stone fruit, and corn on the cob classic. It's America's #1 choice for home cooking, and 9 out of 10 say dinner is more delicious with Hello Fresh. And in case you don't know what it is, it's a meal kit that ships chef-designed recipes and fresh pre-portioned ingredients right to your door. So you cook real food fast with no guesswork. No guesswork is the kind of life I like. So Reject Nation, the best way to cook just got better. You can go to HelloFresh.com/rejects10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. 1 per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/rejects10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. Thank you, HelloFresh, for adding on to my lifestyle.
No. Glenn Powell.
There's Glenn Powell.
Young Glenn Powell. It's like 20 here.
He is one of those actors that you feel like just became famous and started off career famous.
You're like, wait, he's been around for a long time.
Yeah. Nice.
Her face and then that hit, man.
He treats everyone equally.
That's true.
Tom Hardy has to do so much with just his eyes, and I like how he doesn't use grunts when exerting energy.
He grunts in every other masked movie or Mad Max, but here, it's calm, controlled. I love the scarring and stands out a little bit. Future Running Man right there.
I like how he slid him over.
Just to hit him there.
They have to hide the subway station signs so that way they don't give away where they're actually filming this.
That's really funny.
God, I got to become a billionaire.
We're all trying.
I'd rather be hated and rich so I can ignore the hate.
I want to be a tens of millionaire and then donate money. I don't think I could sleep as a billionaire.
I want to become a billionaire and invest in artificial intelligence. No.
Join Spotify.
Own the next AI.
Just get a Spotify membership and go from there.
Just stay in your vehicle, okay?
The implementation of Blake does allow for these interactions with citizens of Gotham that has letting Gotham feel actually more like a real city being lived in, because you don't get much interaction with just civilians in Gotham.
And it's also Robin kind of stuff. Like he's doing the help.
Steady.
I think they were in those brightly colored jackets.
I've got something.
Oh, that score.
Damn. Good stunt woman. Good stunt actors. Damn.
Yeah, that tumble would suck.
Good thing they built those ramps there. So they that perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So you were keeping us out. Whee!
Yeah, the action in these movies are so rewarding.
The Wall Street suits on the back of a bike. Oh, it's so good.
Woo! The one light in the darkness.
Boy, you are in for a show tonight, son.
They really capture that energy of like, oh my God, Batman's back. I think the beginning had to be so long and slow to give this feeling. Woo. Because it feels like he's back, and we just watched Dark Knight.
Sorry.
There are things I don't recall about this movie. That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the long shot at opening. It just I was just wondering more of like, would the Bruce Wayne we know quit because of everything?
I mean, all 2 movies leading up to this said he wanted to Gotham not need him. Like, it was always established that he doesn't want to have to be Batman.
Yes, but the Gotham is not that anymore, and it did seem like more of the indication was he quit because he lost Rachel.
I think the Rachel thing allowed it to be emotional, not a victory.
Sure.
Feels like he lost on a loss, not on a win, but he still lost. Like, he still left on his note.
No, that's fair.
Like, the game ended to him, but it was an L because of Rachel.
Damn, it got night so fast. It was bright as day earlier.
Yeah, they went under one tunnel. Well, you're right.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
8 years. He has to pick tonight. It's drawing the cops off Bane.
Well, thank you, Batman. Oh, an awesome profile shot. This is almost as good as that Tron chase we saw.
Almost.
I think this one has the best music.
The score is incredible.
The score feels very much a character that is in harmony with the whole movie.
And we've gotten so attached to his theme here. Apparently there's only 2 stunt drivers in the world that could actually drive the Bat bike.
Oh, man.
Which is incredible to know that it's that hard.
Woo! Holy shit.
Awesome.
Damn.
I like that I buy that stunt completely.
Is that real? Yeah. That was awesome.
The stunt drivers in this are insane.
That was so cool.
I think it was Anne Hathaway or her stunt double that the Bat bike accidentally drove over an IMAX camera. And that was when there was only like 40 IMAX cameras. They destroyed like $1 million piece of tech.
Oh, damn. Oh, I love this. The hunt for Batman.
How do you build something with gyros that go that way while going forward? Like, that's incredible.
Amazing effects. I love how guttural it feels.
Sure it was him.
Cool.
He said, and I quote, they would die before talking.
Where does he find these guys?
The League of Shadows.
Got your tongue.
Those heels make it tough to walk.
I don't know. Do they? So where is it?
Where's what?
Hold it right there.
The exposition that he doesn't need to reiterate.
Do you want to make sure the audience knows what you want?
Damn, shots like that give like a strange sensation in my feet.
Yeah, I feel something.
The clean slate, where you type in someone's name, date of birth, in a few minutes they're gone from every database on Earth.
Yeah, that thing.
Sound a little too good to be true?
You're lying.
I like how he says sound too good to be true as a way to justify the very expositional line of an exchange they definitely wouldn't have in this movie.
Yeah. Gotta move that plot along.
I'm not bluffing.
I do think the music is bad. Like it does feel like I feel like there's a live orchestra with this movie.
Yeah, you're right. It feels very alive.
Yeah. Yeah, man, Anne Hathaway's kicking so much fucking ass.
And it's all her.
You gotta be kidding me.
No guns, no killing.
Where's the fun in that?
I'm gonna show you a way of life as a husband and as a bat. I can change you.
You're so hot.
I can save
Let
you.
me fix you. Awesome.
My mother warned me about getting into cars with strange men.
This isn't a car.
Those effects are insane. Did they really build something they're flying, or is that
I like don't
CGI?
know how they did it. Like, is it a miniature they're lifting up? Like, what is
it? That looks
it?
so real.
And this was 12 years ago. It looks so much better than stuff now. I haven't seen the seams yet.
The city feels a lot bigger in this one too.
It's clean.
I wouldn't have minded if this one went back to a touch, though, of feeling like the Gotham we got in Batman Begins, instead of just a
Seeing the underground, seeing the Narrows.
I mean, yeah, just like the way the city looked like a character and looked like a Gotham. This still just looks like a
Skyscrapers,
typical
downtown,
metropolis.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I had it under control.
I saved your life. I need to know what you did with Bruce Wayne's fingerprints.
Wayne wasn't kidding about a powerful friend. I sold his prints to Daggett.
This is the movie, though, where I feel like the voice is such an act.
Yeah, it really does feel put on.
And I think it's because of the way the movie spends so much time with Bruce Wayne, and they're even calling attention to the fact that, like, just because you put this shit on doesn't make you Batman. So I don't know if it's fucking intentional or Christian Bale's just way overdoing it.
Like, that line's great, but delivered in that voice is so like, whoa.
And like he's by himself.
Yeah.
Because I'm loving everything Christian Bale's doing as Bruce Wayne.
Even more than the other two, to be honest, the Bruce elements.
Are the police supposed to be investigating them?
They don't have the tools to analyze it.
They would if you gave them to them.
One man's tool is another man's weapon.
We don't get a lot of cowlless walk around Bruce Wayne. It's cool.
What about when you come up against him? What then?
I'll fight harder, I always have.
Take a look. His speed, his ferocity, his training. I see the power.
Oh, man, I love how scared Alfred is.
Yeah.
Who leads them now?
Ra's al Ghul was the League of Shadows and I beat him. Bane is just a mercenary, and we need to find out what he's up to.
His arrogance and Michael Caine's fear is fantastic.
And my fingerprint courtesy of Selina Kyle. Get this to Fox. He can crack the code and tell us.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you've been out of it for 8 years. You haven't stretched once.
You
in
were
those
barely
years.
walking, and your hammies are tight.
You're not Batman anymore. You have to find another way. You used to talk about finishing, about a life beyond that awful cape.
I understand. So him breaking up is like his version of being like, I'm not going to enable you anymore.
Yeah.
What if before she died, she wrote a letter saying she chose Harvey Dent over you?
I don't remember him confessing this.
Me either.
I burnt that letter.
How dare you use Rachel?
I am using the truth, Master Wayne. Maybe it's time we all stop trying to outsmart the truth and let it have its day.
Oh, wow, that is like the main theme of this movie.
And it also means losing someone that I have cared for since I first heard his cries echo through this house.
Man, this is powerful.
It really is.
See, when I was younger, I guess I didn't appreciate that choice. I felt like Alfred would never do that.
But it's so what he needed to do.
Yeah.
It's the only thing he could do. He was desperate.
And watching it in succession with the other two, the choice makes a lot of sense to me in this context.
I was also way too young to understand a broken-bodied Batman trying when he can't do a thing.
Yeah.
Like, as I get older, like, this makes sense.
And Wayne Enterprises is about to fall into the hands of John Daggett.
We can't let Daggett get his hands on Applied Sciences.
Applied Sciences is all locked up and off the books. The Energy Project, however, is a different story.
Miranda Tate.
Wow, what a way to completely strip him.
Also, I think that happens in the comics pretty often is a broke Batman by way of corporate espionage. So this is also adapting a lot of storylines that are interesting. This is like a weirdly super comic-y, but also super Nolan movie. And they're like sometimes diametrically opposed. Oh, I love that. So cool.
Man, I love how they built all this.
Yeah, like this movie is so tangible.
Is Bruce Wayne really that paranoid?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
If she wasn't if she wasn't Talia al Ghul, she'd be a fool not to think this guy wasn't Batman.
Right. So crazy.
It's crazy how Bruce Wayne comes out of retirement. At the same time, Batman comes out of retirement.
And then as soon as he gets his money stolen, he wants to show me this thing that looks like Bat Tech.
Crazy underground hidden technology.
We'll work out what Dr. Pavel did. Someone will figure out a way to make this power source.
I do enjoy Nolan's use of time, but also the exposition giving us all the clues of like timeline to make it feel real.
Mm-hmm. What an interesting look from
Fox. I don't know. I don't trust him.
Bruce, if you want to save the world, you have to stop trusting it.
And I love the altruism angle she's taking because I was totally on her side. And then the reveal, like, chat. Oh, the glare from Ben Mendelsohn.
But you see, that was still the same approach that Ra's al Ghul had when luring Bruce in as something that felt very benevolent and warm.
And what he's looking for.
Yeah.
Exactly what he's looking for.
It's really well orchestrated.
Knowing how to manipulate Bruce Wayne is what the Al Ghul's do best.
And the way Ra's was orchestrating with like Jonathan Crane, like the businessman of Gotham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the long game of knowing Bruce enough to do so.
I mean, she's been meeting with him. She's been sleeping with him. That we know of. Clearly, you don't know much of anything, do you? Where's Bane? Oh, where is that man?
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
I want to see the audio track of like when Bane is inserted in. Like, whoa.
They really make him seem like some type of demonic force.
His presence visually and the audio pair so well.
How exactly is that supposed to help my company absorb Wayne's?
Leave us.
No, you stay here. I'm in charge.
I'm already so good, man.
I paid you a small fortune.
This gives you power over me? Your money and infrastructure have been important. Till now.
Pure evil.
I'm necessary evil.
Every line.
I love how Bane is the opposite of Joker. He's like
all control, all rules, all structure.
100% just this power control thing, yeah.
And all physical, not mental. I mean, he's mental too, but the physical presence.
He's not a mark. And he doesn't have a cent to his name anyway.
The hell was he
trying to say or assuming out?
Patting him down or something?
He wants to meet tonight.
Why?
He needs to find Bane. Says you'd know how.
Tell him we'll think about it.
Okay. I like your place.
Weird fucking editing that was. So weird.
It was clearly a much longer conversation because it was like papa. None of the rest of the movie has that like Sorkin thing. Why? I don't know. Yes. Okay.
It's
Good.
like sometimes the editing just like they do things where they just like skip an unnecessary beat, like literally a literal beat. I like your place. It just cuts to he's turned around already.
I bet this movie was 3.5 hours long. Like I guarantee
where
you,
can we
Nolan
save
was like,
time?
yeah, we need every second. It's 2:45.
We could use some harder heads around here.
So that could also be a coincidence.
You're a detective now, son. You're not allowed to believe in coincidence.
I do forget how good some of the lines are when it's not editing around them.
Nobody's answering.
No. On my own now.
Do you have keys?
Never needed them.
Broken butlerless.
Who's this? Where's Alfred?
And that's where Damian Wayans come from.
Where did this come from?
Clearly, when you work together long enough, inevitably.
I feel like they've
Which is why Aaron and Andrew were sleeping together.
I feel like they've exchanged like fairly like not. I don't even feel like they have much conversation off the time we've spent with them as an audience.
It's like he just called her to be like, I'm gonna give you everything. She's like, I guess I'll sleep with you. Now, knowing she's Talia al Ghul, it makes sense. But why does Bruce Wayne think gave that girl infinite energy?
Yeah, they met at the party for 30 seconds, and then they meet underground for like a few minutes with Fox there, and it's strictly business. Yeah.
He's like, she's been calling for months. I guess she likes me. It's a good tactic by Talia. It's a bad move by Bruce Wayne.
We could leave tonight. Take my plane. Go anywhere we wanted.
Someday, perhaps. Not tonight.
I wonder if that was a real choice she was giving him in that moment.
I think it's a very good thing to say to make someone love you. Like, I think the psychological manipulation is really strong.
The editing is so fascinating to me because sometimes most of the time, I would think it actually complements the movie.
Oh, most of the time. That's why you notice it when it does.
Sometimes it's like, weird choice there.
Yeah. And it stands out because it feels so different.
But most of the time, I like the way it like moves.
This is our least amount of commentary because, one, we haven't seen it the most, but also, like, it's much more breathy. It's a lot more like an experience emotionally. I think you're right, though. The score is crazy.
This is easily, like, we're only an hour in. It's definitely my favorite score of the three.
And I love Hans Zimmer's Joker suite, but this is so emotional.
I think, like, it really feels orchestrated like there's a rise coming.
Yeah.
I love this shift. I love that shift to IMAX. I remember the first time seeing that in the theaters, like, whoa.
As it slams shut.
You made a serious mistake.
And not as serious as yours.
It's just like his voice just throws across the room.
I assume that's all a microphone.
On ceremony here.
Mr. Wayne.
Wait, what?
Her realizing, shit.
That seems so obvious.
He did come and know everything Batman wanted to say.
Oh man, I'm very used to the cape.
Yeah,
Holy
that was
shit,
cool.
that was so cool.
And practical. That was a stunt guy.
Oh, I love this. That was just how wet Batman becomes here.
And this sound work. I love how much we can hear Bruce.
Yeah. Again, and but Bane, Bane barely a grunt.
Like he gets beat down.
I know. It's like watching Rocky 3.
Yeah.
I'm here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny.
Yeah, he is iconic as shit, dude. And like just the way Tom Hardy moves as Bane really feels like he's breaking Batman physically.
Yeah.
It's more than the sound design. Like there's a certain way he moves that just feels like, oh my God, all this impact is going into Bruce's body.
Yeah, there's definitely a fighter maneuvering he's doing that he must have learned.
Yeah.
Oh, you think darkness is
Yes.
not alive? You merely adopted
Adopted the dark.
I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man.
It's just so calm and comfortable.
The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
Oh, that's a great way to do something super violent by making you feel like he's indented his skull.
Yeah. I bet this is what led him to do like Taekwondo and martial arts, because you're right, the physicality is incredible.
Ah, yes. I was wondering what would break first. Your spirit?
Nightfall.
Or your body?
Oh. The ease. He doesn't even want the trophy, just...
He's like zero exhaustion in that. People have criticized that fight a lot by like the way the movement is, especially when they're on top of the railing, because there's a bit of a slowness to it. Like you can clearly anticipate the shots. Why aren't they blocking? Blah, blah, blah. But there's something to the way they move that feels like when they put like Pacific Rim monsters fighting each other. Like there's like these presences just fighting each other.
It's a
with
heavyweight
force
fight. Like
Yeah.
it's watching UFC at like 180 versus 155. Like they're monsters.
Because yeah, it's not. There's definitely not really. The speed comes later from Bane.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to see your ticket and identification, please.
Do you mind?
She always looks so elegant. Like Selina Kyle's so cool.
He just happened to be going on that plane.
You know, he had a vacation due.
Damn.
You've made some mistakes, Miss Kyle.
Girls gotta eat.
And you have an appetite. Why would you run? You can't hide from us with a record like this.
Maybe it's not you I'm running from.
This is the most film noir-y of them.
That's exactly, because the Catwoman energy now is met with his energy,
Yeah,
and it's very much
he's
that scene.
very much a detective.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Gets made a detective, starts talking like one.
Yeah. Someone's got an appetite.
Yeah. Yeah, see?
Yeah. I hear a cat purring. Huh? Kitty?
Cats and Robins, mortal enemy, see? Were you one of the nerds that sent in your voice?
No, what are you talking about?
No one put it out so you can send in the speed. Like, that's thousands of voices. That
Oh,
sing
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
I didn't
I'm
know
one
that.
of the thousands. But yeah, you sent in your voice and it made the chant.
You welcome it. Your punishment must be more severe.
Torture.
Yes, but not of your body, of your soul.
The intensity.
Where am I?
Home. Where I learned the truth about despair.
What a different man than Venom. Like, Tom Hardy is such a good actor, but he's always so big. People don't credit him as the actor he is. Like, Warrior, he's incredible. Here, he's incredible. Venom's so different.
Many have died trying. I learned here that there can be no true despair without hope.
Yeah.
As I terrorize Gotham, I will feed its people hope to poison their souls. I will let them believe that they can survive so that you can watch them clambering over each other to stay in the sun.
Oh, torture of soul.
You could watch me torture an entire city, and then when you truly understood the depth of your failure, we will fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny.
It's really just to seem like a giant revenge plan against him. It's like, I think that's one of the great layers of it.
Over the course of 3 movies.
Yeah, because it's a way to make this big, like, almost world-dominating plan feel very personal to Bruce.
And Gotham feels like the world.
First
Ew.
time she got a women's correctional, she was 16. Little closer.
Why, honey? You wanna hold my hand?
The cop's face.
Your masked man kidnapped the Wayne Enterprises board. He let most of them go, but he took 3 of them into the sewers.
I love all patrols.
Slowly pulling people into the sewers the way they do in this movie.
So it's a training exercise?
I'm sorry I didn't take you seriously.
Not sorry to you, though.
And like Batman Begins, he goes back to being amongst the less fortunate.
Yeah. To relearn how to be Batman.
I didn't quite catch all the parallels to the first movie.
Amongst the criminals, amongst the underbelly.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Oh.
He says there is one who did. A child born in this hell.
Bane.
An old legend, nothing more.
Wow, just to be there and be able to do absolutely nothing.
That's in LA. The downward slant they're filming in now. We did some really cool like bat stuff. This is where I ran into Christian Bale when he's fighting henchmen later in this set, and it was so intense to see him as the Bat.
What accent is Tom Hardy doing?
It's a Norwegian strongman that he heard, and he replicated to a T. It's like one voice, you can hear it, and it sounds like this.
Pull the core out of the reactor.
No, you cannot. This is the only power source capable of sustaining. The core will decay in a matter of months.
5 by my calculations.
It won't go on.
Did they ever bring back this guy's fake death as a plot point?
Nope.
They just do it, but they never bring it back as a plot thing.
We assume he died because the body transfer, and her saying he died was like proving that was right. They transferred the body to say that was his body, and then him saying he died is like validating it. But no one's surprised he's alive.
No one it doesn't become like a real plot thing
to acknowledge his aliveness.
Yeah, it's like they almost didn't need to do that.
We're not allowed to believe in coincidence.
Oh, smart maneuver. And him not liking the gun. That's where he learned no guns.
He's gonna get nunchucks and batons.
They're not making cement, they're making explosives.
It'd be so hard to know someone's next move and their whole goal is destruction. Like there's no ransom, it's just ending something.
When you know he's gonna become Robin, that moment means so much more when he throws the gun away. There is like rewatchability choices where these writing choices pay off more.
I agree. Because it's not quite a twist, but kind of.
This is what they use in the trailer, right? This
Yeah.
song, yeah.
I remember the R for Robin was in the trailer and I lost my mind. Like 2011, seeing the comic book R in the stands.
There's a ring around the tunnels. They're gonna blow it and trap the cops underground.
Great sound design.
Pull them out. Pull them out now!
There's Coy doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Doing great work. Look at me go.
Going with the national anthem.
Yep, that's what I looked like in 2011. This movie on the paychecks and call signs, I love that line, was called Rory's Kiss, which is Chris Nolan's daughter's name. So the secret name was Rory's Kiss, and then Magnum Rex was the other one.
Let the games begin.
And another way Bane is such an opposite is Joker's so emotional.
Yeah.
And Bane is so hollow.
Terrifying.
Wow, what an excellent shot. Damn. It's like he didn't realize what was happening behind him.
And I don't know if Ward was a nod to Robin, but also Ward is on his, which is Burt Ward's the first Robin. And then there's the R for the Rogues in the stand written as Robin. So there's a lot of Robin love. No Man's Land. Have you read No Man's Land?
Not yet.
It's big.
You did give it to me.
But that's this.
Yeah.
Gotham, take control of your city.
Every cop in the city's down in those tunnels.
Not every cop.
I'm the singularity. And we got Gordon there.
There are 4 to 5 of us in the entire city. And that one guy with the flu.
I don't recall what my enjoyability level was like with Joseph Gordon-Levitt the first time I watched this. Of going,
he was a highlight for me because I'm a big JGL fan.
But he's like such a made-up character that they have an unusual amount of attention on for a new character. And
yeah. They could have done the Robin thing earlier.
They could have just made Dick Grayson. It would have been fine.
Yeah. That's cool. What's your name? Dick. And he's a detective. Like, he's a dick. He's like a slang for cop.
Play the corners, rookie.
This is the instrument of your liberation.
So I do recall like Bane is such a presence in the first half of this movie, but then he starts to dip out of being such a strong presence.
Well, they go to
This
Bruce
like,
for a while.
Yeah.
But over the course of 5 months, stuff happens.
Nuclear physicist.
Pavel was confirmed dead. Plane crash on an agency pull out of Uzbekistan, but
It looks like it's him.
It's a fully primed neutron bomb with a blast radius of 6 miles.
And who is capable of disarming such a device?
I love how most people stayed in the stadium.
Yeah. Terrified to leave.
Holds the detonator. Now we come here not as conquerors, but as liberators to return control of this city to the people.
Trump.
From those people attempting to flee.
I love that shot of having the camera in the background.
Yeah.
Will trigger the bomb. And now martial law is in effect.
Martial law is always a good sign.
Like, showing that camera there shows how everyone's witnessing him, but then this allows the audience to be up close to his eyes and get the intimacy of it, so you're getting both perspectives.
And you're getting the scope. Yeah, I really never noticed that shot, but that's a really good point. This scene is exactly why I think it's important the Batman and the DCU Batman stay separate, because if Superman existed in Nolan's universe, this would be moot.
He does. He's just wasting his time.
He's just very bored.
How many of you are there, son? Don't have enough men to stop 12 million people from leaving this island.
No, we don't. Gotham is blown to hell.
You didn't get that memo. I thought that was pretty clear.
I'm going to say it out loud, though, just in case.
We do not negotiate, but we do recognize realities. One thing must be understood above all others.
People of Gotham, we have not abandoned you.
It's an interesting choice to like lean so heavily into this being, in a lot of ways, more of a sequel to Batman Begins than The Dark Knight, because The Dark Knight was massively more popular, and there were so many people who watched The Dark Knight without watching Batman Begins.
And this is a direct sequel.
It's
like
way
Ra's al
more-
Ghul
yeah.
and what Gotham is, and
Like, the Joker's not even acknowledging this.
Yeah, I really wonder what would have happened if we hadn't lost Heath, like, as a third movie. Like, would this have been the fourth movie?
Oh, man. That would have been so cool.
Blackgate Prison, where 1,000 men have languished under the name of this man, Harvey Dent.
Acknowledging The Dark Knight?
Yeah, they acknowledge The Dark Knight.
The next scene.
They don't acknowledge Joker.
We're just gonna keep moving you till we can get you in front of the camera.
You have been supplied with...
Like, have you seen that letter I bring with me everywhere I go?
Oh, this might come against me.
I just assume it's drowned in the sewers.
From the words of Gotham's police commissioner.
I knew I should have saved it on a hard drive.
Oh, should have shredded my...
Those men locked up for 8 years in Blackgate and denied parole under the Dent Act based on a lie.
Gotham needed a hero.
Trade everything you stood for.
I didn't realize just how much they're developing that he will take up the Batman mantle.
Yeah.
It's like, that's so much of what he's dealing with in this movie.
From Gordon, yeah.
We take Gotham from the corrupt.
It is cool to see how the Dark Knight ended on that whole thing about like they need more than the truth, and then they're watching the consequences of lying.
And how people like this can manipulate that if you have any shred of it.
Do as you please.
Do as you please.
And they arm them with weapons.
Ripped from their decadent nests.
This is really terrifying scenario.
Yeah.
Cast out into
I'm in here. I'm one of these guys because I worked with Tom this day, and he's knitting this whole scene.
Blood will be shed.
They've showed everything except the blood being shed.
Yeah.
Everything he said they showed, but blood was shed. Yeah.
It will endure.
In all the other movies, when characters are doing a plan, Nolan just lets you see the plan unfold, and then you figure out what they're doing. And this is the first one where the tactic is laid out that he will give them false hope until their untimely demise.
We see that because it tortures us like it tortures Bruce.
Yeah.
Like we've got his POV.
The mask holds the pain at bay.
It's the child you spoke of.
The legend is that there was a mercenary who worked for a local warlord.
Ra's al Ghul.
This actor who plays him is the guy who played the other Winklevi, Army Hammer. So he's like the exact same height and stuff as Army. So on Social Network, I worked with this guy. He's great.
This is Bane's prison now. He wouldn't want this story told.
Oof.
There's a vertebra protruding from your back.
Oh, they're going to have to show it and I feel it. Man.
I love their way of medicine.
It's high tech, frankly.
Did you not think I would return, Bruce?
This cameo blew my mind. I don't know why. I was like, what? They can do that.
I watched you die. Oh, there are many forms of immortality. You were the mercenary.
I can see it now.
I know what you look like younger.
With all your strength, and the only victory you could achieve was a lie. Gotham is beyond saving. No. And must be allowed to die.
He got some very vital piece of information from
a ghost.
His imaginated ghosts.
This is when the leaps really start for me in the plotting.
I mean, he fixed his back.
It's definitely like an emotional journey, so you have to forgive some. But what you said earlier about the romanticizing and like the leaps, this is when it starts for me to be like, okay,
yeah,
that ghost just told him stuff he wouldn't possibly know. I guess he could infer it. He's a detective.
I guess he could have pieced it together. That's how his brain works.
Yeah.
Like, oh wait, mercenary
I
must be
get the movie logic.
Yeah.
But like, what? We've never seen Detective Bruce Wayne use imagination quite so. But he's in pain. He's in prison.
What's that?
This was someone's home.
Now it's everyone's home.
No privacy.
There's a storm coming, remember? This is what you wanted.
That's me.
That's you?
Yep. It's my favorite shot because I didn't know they were filming. And I turned around and it was an IMAX camera and I was like, oh shit. And then they made it the movie.
Oh, hell yeah. You did it, Coy.
I did it. There's two more scenes I'm in, but that's my favorite one because I was a surprise.
You made it to the big leagues now.
Yeah, I'm shot in IMAX. I didn't, however, get a line, nor do I say they're 40. We watched that the other day, actually. I was like, oh, yeah, look.
All starts with push-ups.
I'm not meant to die in here.
Here, there. What's the difference?
I can do a bunch of pull-ups now without assist.
Oh?
I used to not be able to. The assist was
I know that was a goal.
The assist was taken at the gym, and I was like, crap, let me just try it. I was like, whoa, I could do pull-ups.
I'm stronger.
Wait,
this is working?
I could do full form pull-ups now without assist.
What grip?
I do this, and that.
And you can do it all?
Yeah.
Because they're very different muscles, like, back, bicep.
I can do them all.
I'm a forearm pull-up guy.
I can only get up to like 13 in a row solidly on this, but the other ones I can get a lot. And
back is the hardest.
Yeah.
I like the forearm ones. I always feel like mighty.
What are they chanting? Wait, they say it, right?
Yeah.
And he broke his back
Yeah.
again.
I hope that helped because it certainly hurt. I did like the look of belief in his eyes. That's a great actor to just emote that way. And then his disappointment in believing.
I told you it could not be done.
You told me a child did.
But no ordinary child. A child born in hell.
I do like the casting, how, like, if you know this actress as an adult, you know that's, like, Talia, but it's great casting.
Hardened by pain, not a man from privilege.
This movie's pretty woke because they just told a white man he was privileged.
I mean, Bane did equal the leveling field. He equaled the playing field. The billionaires and the poor are
all
now
out, just, equal.
Equal
out in the
footing now.
streets.
You have ID?
GCPD comics. That's what people love reading the most.
Yes.
They want the ones without Batman.
No Batman.
And no superheroes. GCPD Comics.
The men trapped underground number almost 3,000.
I'm in contact with my partner who's down there. They're just waiting for the day.
Men who haven't seen daylight in 3 months.
Police officers who haven't seen daylight in 3 months.
They're more than men. They're police officers.
Yeah. They're not affected by hunger, thirst, or tiredness.
We're the goddamn GCPD.
3 months is nothing to us.
I did read the first. I read the first couple volumes or issues of No Man's Land.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I like the scope of it. That book is huge. It's got such
there is
resonance.
That thing, yeah. Because I see the iteration where they're like, "Where's Batman? Batman needs to come back." Right.
Yeah. And Nolan captures that well here.
You gonna tell him what's really going on?
Captain, the situation is more complicated than you think. There's someone you need to meet.
Came upstairs looking for a vantage point.
It does shift naturally into this like almost apocalyptic movie in a way that doesn't feel jarring. It's surprisingly well done.
The sets were crazy because this is all practical. Like the scene with Scarecrow coming up where it's all like the desks. That was like the train station downtown and everything around it was destroyed just for outside window shots.
Oh, that's cool.
Like they went all out.
Bane turned the core into a bomb and removed it from the reactor.
This bomb is a time bomb.
And it will go off in 23 days, regardless of Bane's revolution or what we or the outside world choose to do.
23 days is crazy. They skipped 5 months.
Could you disarm it?
I could reconnect it to the reactor.
Let's move away from this location and then call it in. You stay and look after these folks.
Yeah, because this movie really is like 2 movies in one.
Oof. There that goes.
I'll die before I talk. How about your schedule, Captain?
I totally forgot that line. Man, that's a good line.
There were people living upstairs.
Round them up for judgment and hang them where the world can see.
Yeah, I love the like tone of this, the evil of it.
Pure evil.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's not about strength.
My body makes the jump.
Survival is a spirit.
These Batman movies. Batman is constantly surrounded by mentors in these movies.
Yeah.
No matter where he is.
That's his manifesting.
He's always learning from people.
You're talking energy? That man got like manifesting mentor energy. I love that they fake me out every time. I'm like, this is the time. He's going to do it. Like, I really believed that first watch. Oh, and that mirror. Beautiful.
Why do we fall?
So we can rise.
Wow. I'm actually glad they had that flashback. I completely failed to put together the parallel.
The exact shot?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I think it's such a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
How can you move faster than possible, fight longer than possible, without the most powerful impulse of the spirit, the fear of death?
I fear dying in here.
But you can't fear fear.
While my city burns, there's no one there to save it.
Then make the climb, as the child is, without the rope. Then fear will find you again.
A genuine leap of faith.
Need that adrenaline momentum in him.
Ah, supplies for your journey. Oh, that's wonderful.
What does that mean?
Rise.
I love how he waited so long to ask what that meant.
Yes.
Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
Just like that, Batman inspires hope. I should do ab crunches too.
That's how you get that course. You can leap.
Push-ups and ab crunches.
And then, unlike Batman, he lets these criminals go free. So this is the biggest logic jump in the movie for me is like, how does he get back to Gotham?
I buy every second of it,
He
Coy.
just does. So this scene was crazy. So all of that, this is like the train station downtown LA, and all of this was built. This is us. I'm over here on the right side with a blue beanie on. And this is all practical. In the back, Bane is knitting, and then there's another version of this where Scarecrow is in the full animated series comic accurate outfit. That was so dope to see.
Oh, cool.
But you can see the stuff coming out of his suit, and there was a mask that was there for a couple of takes.
I am one of you. Bane has no authority
Yes,
here.
knitting
This is merely
Bane.
a sentencing hearing. Now, choice is yours. Exile or death.
It makes sense that he would knit. Like, what's an activity a guy would pick up when they're in prison?
Yeah. What does he have access to?
Exile. Sold. The man in the cold sweat.
LA River, which was like the practical ice effect was so cool. Noel's the man.
You try to swim, you're dead in minutes.
Noel G has played Hector in 7 movies, all different Hectors.
All Hectors. That's what I thought his real life name was Hector because of that.
But yeah, this was LA. This was a crazy shoot.
Where the hell are they?
No escape.
Bomb goes off tomorrow. I have about 18 hours to do something. To do what? To mark the truck, get a GPS on it so we can start to figure out how to bring it down.
We're the GCPD.
Jim, he's not here.
You let your wife come to the door when the city's under occupation?
In the kitchen, honey. What did you do?
I don't recall Matthew Modine in this movie at all.
And he's such a major part.
He's in so much of this movie.
We've all got to keep our heads down till they can fix this.
Keep your head down. What is that gonna do tomorrow when that thing blows?
The thing, though, is I like Matthew Modine, but I don't give 2 shits about this character.
He's such a little bitch.
There's just so much time dedicated to this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't really care about him.
Yeah, he's just an imposition. Like, he's just a slowdown.
And, like, there's so much I love about No Man's Land sequences of this, like the vibe, the whole atmosphere, but sometimes there's a lot of attention put on people and situations that I'm not that emotionally interested in.
And there is a long movie to be had. So, yeah, I see that.
Never steal anything from someone you can't outrun, kid.
Eve.
Ooh.
Pretty generous for a thief.
How did he get back?
Because he's Batman. Reasons.
I thought they killed you.
Not yet.
If you're expecting an apology.
It wouldn't suit you. I need your help.
It's harder when the first 2 movies, while they're not like entirely real, it grounds itself so much in a world where you feel like tangible, real possibility. That's the whole premise of these Batman movies is here's how you can make it feel so real.
Yeah.
And then they do this where you're like, now you're making a lot of choices that
are just like,
just
what?
don't feel real. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you start questioning stuff.
And it's such a fun time living in the universe, but it is such a pivot of tone.
Yeah. It's like it becomes conflicting. Like the fantastical side overtakes the realism side. And this is trying to be the blend of the fantastical of Batman Begins and the real nitty gritty of Dark Knight.
It's almost harder to watch back to back.
Yeah.
Like the way we've done this time. I notice more dialogue and more callbacks and things like that I like, but tonally it is an odd blend of both.
Yeah, and so much of the apocalypse time is like the GCPD show, and I'm like, I don't really care about the GCPD.
Yeah. And then they're very lucky they cast Gary Oldman in the first one and Joseph Gordon-Levitt in this one to make it as watchable as it is.
I got it.
Mercenaries under 6.
Keep your heads where we can see them.
Because Bane starts taking a back seat through a lot of this.
If you think we're going out onto that ice willingly, you have another thing coming. Death by exile.
Bring her to me.
Find this one a spot. Got a big day tomorrow. We all do. Not every day you bag Bruce Wayne.
Bruce.
It's a good thing they put him down right next to them.
Yeah.
That bomb goes off in 12 hours.
Unless we can reconnect it to the reactor.
Can you get Miranda out of here?
Not tonight.
Do what's necessary.
I don't know if I'm right about this, but it looks like Christian Bale lost more weight for the finale, which would make sense for that he's been gone.
They might have shot the beginning and the end together.
Okay, yeah.
Weight lost, and then he was able to eat for the middle.
Yeah.
Like your girlfriend, Mr. Wayne.
You should be so lucky.
I'm actually with Miranda. I'm in love with her. She loves me too.
We have so much in common and time together.
Trigger man sets it off.
Well, they won't use radio or cell. Too much interference. Infrared doesn't have the range. It'll have to be a microburst.
It is a little weird they don't acknowledge the Joker.
Don't acknowledge the what?
The Joker, when all the criminals have broken out. But like Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, there was so much news surrounding the death of a real life actor that it probably would have distracted.
And respecting Heath's more important than that, like a little moment of Joker.
Yeah, but I think as time has gone on, I'm like, no. Universe of this, the Joker definitely been doing some shit in the streets right now.
He's getting up some anarchy while Bane is out there being ordered.
Like Joker No Man's Land would have been something special.
I got to talk to Gary Oldman in this ice sequence because I was one of the henchmen here. And then like 3 months later, I ran into him at a sandwich place with his kids, and he introduced me to his kids, and it was the most surreal moment of like, that's goddamn Commissioner Gordon. And like meeting his children. It was so cool. He's the sweetest man.
Oh my God, this poor guy.
Yeah, he finally gets out.
Months down there.
Plug it up.
And he's just
killed. This was the scene I accidentally walked in on. Batman just fighting fools with Joe Gordon-Levitt.
Light it up.
How do you know it's safe on the ice?
Chris Nolan watched the hell out of The Crow.
I'm more like, where did he find the time to do this without being noticed?
He needed a symbol.
Keep her close. He'll come for her.
This blocks the remote detonator signal to the bomb. Get it onto it before sunrise.
I do like that he took the time to make that flame.
It's cool.
That's my logic, Cap, though.
Because it's cool, yeah.
It's just like, when did it? And like,
before he said hi to Selina, he was like, woohoo.
The action is the best captured in this one for sure.
Yeah, they just rest on it.
If you're working alone, wear a mask. The mask's not for you. It's to protect the people you care about. Count to 5, then throw.
It's the most I've ever noticed Christian Bale's actual eyes there.
Yeah, I wonder if they lit it extra to be human, for that moment.
Hey, no offense, but you got something bigger in that belt.
All this time, all they need to do is explode that one thing.
You need to get people across the bridge.
What?
In case we fail, lead an exodus. Save as many lives as you can.
And then no eyes at all.
Hey, thanks.
Don't thank me yet.
Well, I might not get a chance later.
That's the third time in all 3 movies someone says thank you, and he says something about you don't need to thank me.
The Midtown Tunnel's blocked by debris, but the cannons have enough firepower to make a path for people. Wait until the fighting
begins. Heels, no less.
You gonna wage a war to save your stuck-up girlfriend? I'll open that tunnel, then I'm gone.
There's more to you than that.
No one questions him on why he's doing his voice.
Everyone knows you're Batman that you're talking to. He's method. He needs to feel comfortable as a Batman.
I know.
You've given them everything.
Not everything. Not yet.
Man, Batman in these nighttime shots, though, is fucking glorious.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Symbolism. This guy I've been rooting for his whole movie.
Yeah, that's your favorite character. You're like Matthew Modine's The Dark Knight Rises. I love Matthew Modine in that.
There's only one police in this town.
And his dress blues walking down Main Street.
There's real confidence there in that voice.
Yep. Holding that gun steady.
There are one police in this town.
Like, they built that. Like, that's so crazy. They would not do that now.
Open fire.
Well, he doesn't use his guns to actually destroy the tanks.
And he only shoots one of them, I think?
Yeah. Fair fight. Let's fair fight this. Great shot of her.
Got to put your whole ass in it blowing down a car wall.
Why would you be at the front of the line? This is the first time we see Batman during the day.
This clearly.
So you came back to die with your city.
I came back to stop you.
Wow, that's such a cool shot because when you first watch it, it's like she's a prisoner being forced to watch, but really she's just she's the master watching her plan unfold.
Proudly.
Yeah.
You guys, you go knock on doors and spread the word, okay? The bomb is gonna go off. And get out by the South Street Tunnel or over the bridge. You go, you do 2 blocks, you get back to the bus.
This movie becomes like less about characterization with people and interactions. It's more like about the situation more than anything else.
Yeah.
Because you don't really. Alfred dips early. Lucius Fox is barely in the movie.
Bane goes away a while.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have called this one Gotham or something. Like, as far as tone.
Nah. Love Tom Hardy's performance here as he starts getting faster and more desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The chaos, the lack of control.
That. And he's got a hint of that super strength.
Yeah. And the pain in his wheezes. You're just a dude. I'm fighting Bane.
Where's the trigger? Where is it? Where is it? Tell me where the trigger is. Then you have my permission to die.
He is the master at callbacks.
Meanwhile, he doesn't notice that she's dressed like a Star Wars Padawan. We don't know why.
Every movie, Batman also, he remembers someone's line and knows to bring it back later.
He's a detective.
Yeah.
You think you're the only one who could learn the strength to escape?
I never escaped.
Child of Ra's al Ghul made the climb.
But he's not the child of Ra's al Ghul. I am.
I really am the worst detective.
I detective none of this.
8 years being absent has really messed my game.
It's so intimidating.
My mother named me Talia before she was killed. The way I would have been killed if not for my protector, Bane.
Every Batman movie, Bane's out here protecting pretty biddies, causing problems for Batman. Look how young Tom Hardy looks, man.
You only get one shot of his face, and you only get one shot of Heath Ledger's face.
It's a really good point.
I found my father
I forget that actress' name, but she's still working. She's working all the time now.
and brought him back to exact terrible vengeance. But by that time, the prisoners and doctor had done their work to my friend.
Damn, that one knife really took the wind out of Batman.
She's got good aim. She's Talia al Ghul.
He's like, I'll listen to this monologue and just fucking not move the
Just
whole
hold this
time.
knife in my spleen.
It was a reminder of the
I'm going to keep weirdly touching you, though.
he excommunicated.
I know. It's just like there.
For 7
It's
minutes.
like a prop hand.
Yeah, I wonder if that's even is an extra.
I could not forgive my father until you murdered him.
Good. Did you a service?
He was trying to kill millions of innocent people.
The pain registers so well.
Innocent is a strong word to throw around Gotham, Bruce. I honor my father by finishing his work.
The ticking clock element is really good with the Nolan intercutting.
Vengeance against the man who killed him is simply a reward for my patience. It's the slow knife, the knife that takes its time.
I do think the first half of this movie is stronger.
Yeah.
But I think the part Nolan was more interested in, weirdly,
Is all of the
is the last
apocalypse
half.
stuff.
Yeah.
The trigger's under attack.
You gave him a way to block my signal. No matter. We spot Gotham 11 minutes.
She was just going for an 11-minute earlier detonation.
If only you'd known 5 months ago.
Blake, MCU, I'm getting these boys to safety. You're gonna get a full kill. Anyone cross this bridge?
Hey, it's a Dexter guy.
If you take 1 step forward, we will shoot you. If you take 2 steps forward, we will blow the bridge.
Brings it back to the choice element.
Goodbye, my friend.
Didn't even kill him on camera.
All three of these movies have some random weird shot of like a character laying dead or unconscious.
The Nolan insert strikes again.
You'll just have to imagine the fire.
Bane taken out like a bitch.
About the whole no guns thing. I'm not sure I feel as strongly about it as you do.
Wow. Only 40 seconds have passed.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Bane talks so much faster than I realized.
Talia's speech took at least 3 minutes.
And she walked out and killed a lot of cops.
We have to force that convoy east to the entrance to the reactor. I need you on the ground. I'll be in the air.
He's doing his actual voice.
Now he trusts her.
I'm a cop like you, and I'm walking out there. Please do not shoot me.
Nothing like a little air superiority.
Air superiority puns.
Stop walking! Blow it!
That was messed up. Cowards.
You have to get that bomb here, and you've got 10 minutes.
Great way to up the stakes, though, to be like, and this is the only option. No one got out.
It is a beautiful looking ass movie, though, with all the fucking snow and everything.
Yeah.
Goddamn. And all these like practical gear and the stuntmen.
They shot all of this in a city.
It's amazing looking, yeah.
There's a bat and a bat pod fighting Batmobiles in a city, and the special effects are crazy. I still don't know how they actually made the bat.
And it's also like well justified in how massive of a finale it is too. It doesn't just feel like they went for some big finale.
Yeah.
Like it's well justified.
It's earned getting 3 movies to like.
Yeah.
I wanted a 4th for so long, but the more I realize this trilogy is a trilogy, I like it. Cool.
I love how good Batman is at anything. 3rd day flying this thing.
He's great at it.
Yeah. Absolute pro. Wow. Wow.
Crazy Patrick stunt.
Damn, that is crazy. Yeah, that tops like the Terminator 2 bridge one. Because I had to slam head first into the ground and then go up. That was crazy.
Fox showed me how to operate the reactor.
Oh dear.
Oh, about that random shots in a fucking IMAX game.
Oh dear.
Oh, because it lays it all this.
That's why it's an IMAX.
My father's work is done.
One of the most mock deaths. I've seen the meme of that.
It's an odd one.
Yeah. You know, you guys could have got the stuff faster if you just didn't like pointlessly wait for her monologue to finish.
Yeah, guys, you had like 5 minutes according to the last clock we saw.
Could have gone anywhere, did anything, but you came back here.
So did you.
I guess we're both suckers.
Batman and Catwoman kissing. You gotta have it.
The bat and the cat.
Now that his girlfriend's dead.
She was very evil.
Shouldn't the people know the hero who saved them? A hero can be anyone, even a man doing something as simple and reassuring as putting a coat around a young boy's shoulders.
He's only ever put one coat on one boy. What a long sentence to give that clue.
Not even his own son.
Never. I've always thought it was Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
Yes. The emotion's so good, though. I keep taking little jabs, but like the experience is so grandiose and powerful. I don't mean to belittle, but like, man, these moments.
That's Batman!
And he drops it on the school bus. Oh, shit.
Fuck them kids. It's really smart to hone in on certain group of individual Gothamites so you feel the scope of the whole city. I think the kid element was really smart with, especially the Robin and setting up the foster home earlier. Like, that was a really good 3rd act for them.
I guess you just never see him eject, huh?
And they show him 5 seconds before.
That's detonation.
Oppenheimer.
He knew then what he wanted to do.
Somehow he got to the city. Somehow he got away from
Swam
the city.
back.
Yeah.
I see that I hold a sanctuary in their hearts and in the hearts of their descendants generations hence.
He really did get betrayed by the system. All those things about the rules and laws, and then watched it happen right to him, that left him to die.
I didn't appreciate that beat enough earlier in my watches.
It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known.
Another movie ending with Gordon at that location, giving a speech for the fallen. I think they CGI'd in Bruce Wayne so no one would paparazzi or find out they killed Bruce. It's the only CGI I've noticed in the movie.
You trusted me, and I failed you.
You're right, it does look fake.
I think that's because they wouldn't want anybody to know on set.
No one's ever gonna know who saved an entire city.
They know it was the Batman.
The only people who can attend Bruce Wayne's funeral are those who knew he was Batman.
Hope someone cool has that statue.
Has to go down with another secret.
The contents of the house are to be sold to settle the estate's accounts, and the remainder is left in its entirety to Alfred J. Pennyworth.
Yeah, man. You're a rich man.
The house and grounds are left to the city of Gotham on condition that they never be demolished, altered, or otherwise interfered with, and that they shall be used for one purpose, the housing and care of the city's at-risk and orphan children.
That is beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
what a
touching.
moment.
That's nice. That's a cool legacy. Because he's an ultimate orphan, and now he gets to help out all the other orphans of Gotham.
And I like that he was here to hear it, and like that moment, that smile.
Blake, John,
Nothing here.
try my legal name.
You should use your full name, Robin.
What's your full name?
Robin Blake?
Robin John Blake. Blake John Robin.
Could have said it.
I just need to know what I could have done to fix it.
Mr. Fox, it's already been fixed.
Check the ID on the bench.
Bruce Wayne.
Any news on the missing item?
Not yet.
They better leave no stone unturned. We can't leave a string of pearls on the manifest as lost.
Pearls.
I really like that Nolan made that such an important thing at the end because it starts the journey. Like pearls being the...
All right, Selina, we got to go to this cafe. This is the one he's going to go to. I need to sit
I want Alfred to know I'm okay.
Sit right here.
Every day for weeks.
The Flying Grayson.
Little smile.
Doing the Batman Begins.
Oh, that score.
Like that's just a subtle nod.
Pretty cool.
Pretty
cool. You know, I do still feel it is the bottom of the three, but it is more of an experience. Yeah, it's more of an experience that I remembered positively. Like there was a lot of emotion. There's a lot of scope. I think it's one of the most grandiose superhero movies ever made. I think for me it goes like 4.5-star Batman Begins, 5-star Dark Knight, 4-star. Like 4-star is exceptional for any superhero movie, but 4-star Dark Knight Rises, and that puts this as one of the great trilogies for me.
That's a pretty great movie. I definitely put it number 3 too, out of all three. But you know, like Batman Begins and Dark Knight are like masterpieces.
Yeah, and this is just exceptional.
It's just falls short of a masterpiece. Yeah, there are parts where like, yeah, you can nitpick it, but some nitpicks do become actual logical gaps.
And I found myself once I started like logical gapping, then I would nitpick things I wouldn't have. And
but it's
then
mainly in the last half of the movie.
It's in the last third.
Yeah, it's the last third. It is
for me.
It's the part where Nolan becomes the most. That's like, okay, Nolan. This is the part where Nolan really wanted to do it, and the transition's good, but it does start feeling like maybe you needed a whole movie for both. Maybe you needed a part 1, part 2. This thing.
Yeah.
In order to really tell this story or get your 3.5-hour runtime.
And I was thinking during it, this was 2012, so they filmed it in 2011. I wonder how much, like, there were no phones allowed on set whatsoever smartphones were different then, but I wonder how much would have gotten out, or how much they would have like, advertised like Robin. Like, can you have something this mysterious not as a third movie that you've earned?
Yeah. Yeah, because the romanticism of Nolan it starts becoming a big leap compared to what the first two do. Because the first one really makes you believe a man can become Batman. And then the second one is just super integrated. This is the third one is the one where I'm so aware that a guy's putting on a Batman suit and a costume and a voice.
I was thinking that during, I was like, this feels like a guy is trying to be a Batman.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work, but it does sometimes work.
It feels like the first time he's like acting as a Batman instead of being the Batman. And that's kind of intentional.
It feels like it's, he shouldn't be anymore. Stop doing this.
I feel
but
like
it doesn't always work.
Yeah, in the first half, I feel like it's really intentional. But still, when you get to the finale, I'm like, it still kind of feels
so emotional.
It's so emotional that you're with it, though,
I think this is still, like, this trilogy is so high above the quadrilogy of the originals for me that I was like, wow, I'm so invested in this as a trilogy.
And it doesn't feel like they rushed to get to the ending. As much as there's weird choices that, in hindsight, feel like they skipped over some things.
Yeah.
I don't get the sense that they're rushing this finale to end it. And it still concludes exactly what it set up thematically wise, and it carries over. So it does still tell an entire arc. It's even right down to, like, I don't think John Blake can be Batman. He's not going to go to the mountains and train.
Right. He's Nightwing, not Batman. Very much so.
He's not even Nightwing yet.
Yeah.
We don't even know what his fighting level really is.
He still gets asked about it. Like, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's still like, you going to do that Nightwing movie? Like, and that's so funny because he's like, a 40-something-year-old man now.
Yeah, but like not even Blake's set up yet to be at that point.
Yeah. I'm really curious what the Batman feels like now. Because I love the Batman. But I think I liked this more than I even like. I
like this one more than I remember.
Yeah. So I'm like really curious how the pivot into a totally different style feels.
Yeah. All right. Well, where would you guys rank this? Glad we watched it. It's another great experience. And then we're gonna watch the Batman for Halloween.
I've been really liking these rewatches. I love a reaction, but the rewatches is just such a different flavor to kind of mix it up. Like this was a blast.
This was a blast. I'm glad we're doing this.
Same.
Thanks guys for being here. We'll see you guys soon, Rejects.